That's mine. Who knew? Okay, so yes, it's blue. And so is this. Pigment, cobalt blue. That's my chicken, some of which I ate last night. Huh. In fact, there's my chicken right there. And this is his butter. All of a sudden my Zoom doesn't work. Could be someone outside fucking with my camera. Oh yeah, those good old boys. Huh. Got a few videos about them. Anyway, so then uh, we go. My bedroom. See, whatever that metal is, it leaves a residue on the wood inside there. Famous vacuum cleaner I found by those Croft trucks. In the dumpster not too long ago. That's the canister. This is interesting. What I put in this bottle, but we'll come into better light for it. This is here for some reason. Yeah, see, there's too much radiation over here to focus very well on it, but he never gave me a mailbox key. He always gave me my mail, but not always timely. Now he's been gone for a while and I haven't received any mail, but I've had mail forwarded. And I believe it's probably because of this sign that was put on the mailbox to forward certain mail he didn't want me to get. This is interesting. This is supposed to be a thermometer. That's interesting. It looked red at first instead of white, but if you see the inside of here, it says it takes a battery LR41, but this little doohickey is not just LR41. And if you look up LR41 on the internet, you'll see that it looks different than this. Something's inside of there. It's been treated. You can often tell by the brown rust mark on metals. But if we turn this over, the 4D makes the difference. Try finding that on the internet. Anyway, I'm behind here. This was a piece of wood that I found outside that I used to move my bike chain when I had one. And I put it in my closet. And my bedroom closet, and apparently he was using that lens. I have this marker which seems to have a radioactive substance. I tried giving it to the Ann Arbor police, but they said it looked like a regular marker and that they couldn't take it, and the fire department might take it, but probably not. But notice how the material is separated from the outside shell. And actually, on one of the cards here, it's been demonstrated. Demonstrated. Speaking of cards, we have it's beyond me. So I placed this in my bedroom closet face down like this, and then when I took it out again, I realized this had happened to it. And then I found this at the bottom of the bedroom closet doors, on the internal bottom of the doors. Looks like a toy gun with paint sprayed all over it, but it's this here. Whatever's on this, I think, was attracting microwave and or electric radiation to my room. And this was on the door, my bedroom door. Looks like a regular stopper, but it's actually ionized, like all these other materials here on this desk. And it's a rather special metal, highly conductive. It has a bluish tint that you see here as dark. And it's rather, has some weight to it. Oh, I forgot about that. Anyway, all of this is ionized except for this pack of staples. So anyone could have received any of this stuff. Alright, these clamps here have a substance on them. I think when they attach to another metal, they can ionize it or charge it or something. Eye solutions. He often keeps these in the bathroom open. This is actually a broken piece from my tablet cover that I discovered in this desk. So he must have ionized that. And then I found some of these pieces underneath the blanket that I sleep on the floor. At a time when I was experiencing intense heat in different parts of my body consistently. These things here go in keys. And I had a set of keys to this apartment, but when I took these things off of the keys, because I was becoming suspicious of anything that this roommate of mine, Alexander RASKIND, gave me, they became ionized, highly ionized. So much so that when I was walking down 4th Street in Detroit, Michigan, they were inducing strange sounds from the power lines above me and drawing heat from those power lines that I could feel. Very scary. So I ended up going to Henry Ford Medical on Grand Boulevard, Henry Ford Hospital. Anyway, these eye drops, I think he's figured out a way to make them attracting of radiation of some kind, and that's why he has these extras here. These are ear things. Apparently he's figured out a way to do something with them that's not healthy to humans. This is a storage device. I've had metal flash drives that appear to be highly ionized. Tape. Apparently he can ionize tape. You know, he used these certain substances that he put on certain objects, and or something like a key there, which is highly ionized. You know, he puts that in contact with some other kind of metal, accepting metal apparatus, and maybe it becomes ionized. This is interesting. People have been showing me purple a lot. Apparently it's disappearing, but my God, it's very powerful to touch. So somehow this is very ionized. It's glue, right? All these pins here have a charge, an ionized charge. This shoelace has a highly, almost, what is the word, static electric charge. There is this one small thing in my bedroom. It is perhaps the most powerful ionized object of all of this, but let me get through this first. Here's a frame that's highly ionized. He would often set this out on this table when it wasn't so cluttered, with a man's face on it that looked like a client that I took care of in the past, a senior citizen client. I thought nothing of it. And he'd leave it there for days. He doesn't spend much time here in the apartment, and he wears a monitor most of the time on his shirt, which I thought has something to do with his health condition, but now I realize it was gauging the radiation in this apartment. Apparently, he's figured out a way to ionize seeds. And so these have little black granules in them. And then he has a lot of Miracle Grow. And then this is Miracle Grow Potting Mix Moisture Control. But it appears to show or disperse a lot of background activity. I had to throw away most of all of my clothes. I used these kind of dryer sheets by a different brand, and I left for a few days to get hospital treatment. And when I returned, I would wear these clothes and be excessively hot out and about. I mean, just more than usual. He has these in a bag, and these were all clothes that I had dried with my dryer sheets. Somehow he's figured out a way to use these substances or enhance these substances to attract energy. I don't know exactly what kind. Alright, this is his couch, which I was unsuspecting of. It seemed like a nice leather couch. But when I turned it over, because one night I was, well, it was two occasions that I sat on it, and I felt, again, intense heat that not only I could feel as a force, but sense as a temperature sitting on this couch. And I thought it was coming from a source upstairs, and I'm still not sure that it wasn't, but I decided to investigate underneath this couch, and I suspect that this was deliberately grown or produced, and maybe even fed some radioactive or ionizing food. And all this activity is only on this side of the couch. I can't even focus in on it because it's giving off energy that the camera is constantly distracted by, so that it can't focus in on the actual black stuff. Oh my God. I mean, look at that. Look at that activity. It's radiation. And anyone who tells you that it isn't is full of shit. I don't have to have a PhD in science to know. In fact, anyone who tells you it isn't is in on it. I really should have made this video much shorter. That was my goal, is to make a short version of all the other videos that I made that the Ann Arbor community is not allowing me to upload on public Wi-Fi networks at the library downtown, at the bus station downtown. Of course, U of M is not allowing me to use their public Wi-Fi to upload this, because they're most likely in on this, being that my roommate, Alexander RASKIND, is a PhD scientist at the Barron Building, Kellogg's Eye Institute, at some elusive address, 1000 Wall Street, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Metabolonics Core. I've had people tell me and communicate to me non-verbally that this Alexander RASKIND has been taking X-ray pictures of me through that wall there and supplying them to students and professionals as supplemental study material, as if I have been enrolled in some experimental study without consent by the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. See? That screw is not corroded, and there's none of that activity over here or down there. So you get the point. This table is weird. Oh, and this Alexander RASKIND is Russian, and I'm not sure if he's a citizen or not. He told me that he was applying for citizenship, but as far as I'm concerned, he's not, according to what he's told me. And his son, Gregory RASKIND, is a student here at the university. And he's left quarters with a substance on them that seems to attract microwave energy. So, you know, a lot of discoloration. In the wood down there. So, if he can irradiate the seeds, then he can grow them into plants like these. I suspect that's what these plants are. And then I suspect this one's in this window for a reason, where there was the clock. And then there's this table here, which there's this black stuff that seems to attract a kind of energy, probably microwave energy. Most people associate microwave energy only with a microwave. And that's such a limited use. And capability. Yeah, that's ionized. I can feel an electric shock through my device here, just by being close to this. But this black stuff is here too. hard to get the light underneath the table. There we go. So when I first discovered this, I realized it was just where the one chair is. So when you sat down, I guess you get leg warmers. And then there's some metal work here that apparently is affected by those charges. And as usual, they show a rusting quality. Wow, I can't believe I made this video an hour. Jeez. That's gonna be a huge file. And they love it, because they, meaning the group of people in the public who are working against me, to not release this information to the public. It gives them more of an opportunity to stop it from uploading. But there's some here too, what you see is placed differently, and that is because, oh, and I just realized some of that is underneath the bench here. Look, it's giving off such an energy right now. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a shock of it all underneath this table now. He doesn't work alone. There are people in the community that are aware of this setup and arrangement, and they can use instruments in their cars to send off just to produce this kind of energy, and then all it takes is a setup inside someone's home to draw it in. The purpose of it depends on how powerful the setup is. It can be powerful enough to induce a lot of medical problems, up into death, cardiac arrest. Or it could just be enough to promote cancer in the short term. Or if someone has cancer, to finish them off quicker. You know, it's a covert dark market way of putting a hit on someone. Whether it's a company that wants to put a hit on you, or an individual. At least that's my idea of it. That's the best that I can come up with. Why all of this exists. And this Alexander RASKIND, you know, being a PhD in the study of cells at the metabolism level, this makes me very sick. But it has to be seen. And it's not, it's an accumulation of something. It's not burn marks from this radiator. As you see, there are no burn marks on this radiator. But what you will see in between the coils is specks of white moss looking stuff. And I suspect that's some kind of gas. Here he must have put this in there to help attract more of the microwave energy from outside. It's either that or the paint, which is mixed with a material that attracts radiation. And then here we see it very conspicuously. And that poor pipe has suffered from it, as you can see. And it does go around. And then strangely enough, there is these granules. And one would just think, oh, maybe bugs accumulated them there. See, there's a whole bunch in there. I'm not so sure of that. I think this might be some of his radiation biological substances that he uses to grow his irradiated plants. That's what I think. Here's some more of it here. That, or it's just a group of minerals that are ionized, but they serve a purpose. They're not just there for no reason. So, all right. I think I've covered most of everything in this apartment. And as soon as I stop, oh, this air conditioner. Let's put this couch right. Interesting air conditioner. It has, paint on the power line, and again, unsuspecting, like, oh, somebody did a slot job. But if you pay attention to detail, here is all over the electrical plug, and even on the prongs. So it's meant to interact with the electricity, and I don't think in a good way. He never uses it. I've used it a few times laying on that couch with that blanket covering me, and I felt like very sharp static electric shocks, for about 30 minutes, and then either I ignored it or it stopped. But I guess I'll show you. This is our laundry room. Something very strange about those appliances. But because I don't understand enough about the strangeness, I'm not going to speculate excessively to suggest psychosis. KROPH Mechanical Service Company. Strange men. All right. Here there appears to be some black stuff, liquid that has dried, has been poured all over. Look at that. I mean, that's giving off. Whatever that is giving off. Background energy, that's no good. All right. You believe these apartments are $1,100? I imagine this building must be the exception. And then our meter here is the only one that has this cord. Going in. I thought that was interesting. And then this old thing. It's very powerful when you get close to it. And I just can't believe it's left exposed like this. It's meant to look inoperative, but these cords, I've seen in the telephone box in the hallway closet in my apartment. And when I took it apart, it gave off a very strong irradiating energy that made me feel like I had got a jolt of some type of amphetamine, and jittery, and these things are kind of interesting. They say 3M on them. But some of this is clearly working. And this is emitting radiation of some kind. And the storage room here. Clearly, old building. You know, they have incinerators still. Trying. Oh. Okay. I had some shoes lined with cobalt blue, but I had to throw them away and our police department wouldn't take them, but I made a police report. Also a police report about that pen. So this is the report number. That's the sergeant that I spoke to, but he didn't take the complaint. He had a person at the desk take the complaint. And since we're here at the breakfast nook, this is a cup that Alexander has encouraged me to drink tea out of. And it looks like a nice cup, but what I didn't realize is on the underside of the plate, there was a plate that had a lot of, maybe I cleaned it. Although, that wouldn't be like me. I would try to save something like that for evidence. Well, it had a very special bacteria on it, so I'm sure that's not too far of a stretch from the imagination based on what I've shown thus far. Yeah, I think I cleaned it. It's in another video I have, though. Now, these avocados, I just ate them last night, and they seem fine. And then this morning, so this is what, 8 hours later, 9 hours later at the most? Is that normal? The under part had this this dark part to it, and I've scooped that out of that part off of avocados before in the past and ate them and were fine, but being that they were in this refrigerator, which apparently is not a kosher refrigerator, pun not intended, I just have some concerns. So do normal avocados do this about 9 hours later? Or have I eaten something that has absorbed some kind of radiation or strange bacteria? Let me know what you think.